I want to welcome everyone to the October 13th, 2022 Inspiring Author Conversations. I'm Kathy Davis with Davis Creative Publishing Partners. Today we'll be speaking with Heather Bunch about how to turn your book into your signature system to create more impact and multiple streams of income. Before we welcome Heather more formally, I want to first remind everyone of a few logistics. Make sure you are on mute. The call is being recorded, and you'll receive a link to YouTube within about 48 hours, maybe longer this week. We're going to let Julie have some time to heal and feel better. And your attendance at these meetings serves as your permission to be seen in the recordings. Please find your chat button down at the bottom. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them into the chat box, and we'll make sure we get to them. We're also going to be ending around 12:15-ish. We went a little long with the intros today, but I thought that was valuable to get to know everybody. We don't always take time to do that. And we promise to end the call definitely by 12:30, no later. Our theme continues to be inspiring authors this year, and we invite people who are either authors or experts and invite them to share their knowledge, new ideas, opportunities, and wisdom. So please help me welcome Heather Bunch. Heather's an international author, certified life and Enneagram coach, speaker, signature system, and curriculum designer. She's over 25 years of experience in church world, including small groups and online campus minister. I heard Jackie, you were talking about that earlier. She hosts Live Fearlessly Free podcast and co-hosts your Fearless Journey podcast with Becky, Michel, and Kat Schudel. I hope I said that right. One of her passions is helping faith-based coaches, speakers, and authors create their signature systems so they can finally get their ideas out of their heads. I've been hearing a lot of that this morning in the intros, and start making the impact that they dream about while creating multiple streams. Please welcome the courageous coach, Heather Bunch. Yay!
Thank you so much, Kathy.
Yeah.
I hear the applause. I hear it.
I can feel it. I got goosebumps. Yeah.
I can feel it in the room. I do.
That's right.
I'm gonna do a little screen share here because I've got a presentation for you.
Okay, good.
And thank you so much, Kathy, for just allowing me to be here to speak to this amazing group of people. The turnout is exciting, and so I am here to. What's that?
Real quick, I just want to make sure as we start, one of the first questions that someone emailed me earlier that can't be here is, can you please define signature system?
Ooh, we're going to get to that. Yes.
Okay, good.
All right. Yeah, because why would you want to create one if you didn't know what one was? So want to start off asking, have you ever wanted to create more ways of making money with your book? Anybody? Yes. Do you want to create more impact with your book? Anybody? Yes, hopefully. Yeah. That's why you do it, right? You want to make a difference in what you do. Is there anyone besides me that is tired of trying to constantly come up with new content? Social media posts, Instagram reels, all that stuff, emails that you have to do, right? Yes. Well, I am going to teach you how to turn your book into your signature system so you can create more impact and multiple streams of income. And so today's for you if you dream of reaching more people, because that's what we do. We want to live that life of significance. That's the beauty of a book, is that you literally leave a legacy. If you desire to create multiple streams of income from your book beyond just like it's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and you want more ways to make an impact. And if you want an endless supply of content at your fingertips, then today is your day. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to be here. Now, it's funny because, I listened to the bio, and that always is kind of like intimidating sounding because I am not the kid that grew up going, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to do all these awesome things. I was a kid that was like the professional hider. And I have the domain on it, professionalhider.com. And I grew up thinking like I was, when they're handing out the gifts and talents, like I got left with the empty bag. That was me. And I didn't think I had any gifts. My older brother is a speaker. He's a pastor, has been for multiple years. He's amazing. And I know because people tell me. And my mother writes, and she's phenomenal. She is a storyteller, like just make things come alive. My dad is a storyteller with words. And my little brother designs these phenomenal, amazing houses. So I always just felt like, meh. That's what I felt like. Heather is meh. And mediocre, like average in the middle. And not until my adulthood did I finally start realizing I can write and I actually like this. And I can speak. Holy cow, who would have thought? And I remember feeling like I was supposed to write Bible studies. And I kept saying, I'm going to write Bible studies one day. One day I'm going to write Bible studies. It's going to be amazing. How many know one day never comes? Anybody said that with a book? One day? But that's why you're here. You're making things happen. So I love that. Well, I realized it finally. I was sitting there doing an exercise in the book, The 7 Decisions by Andy Andrews. Anybody know Andy Andrews? He is, oh my gosh, my favorite author. I've literally read everything he's written. I love him. He's got fiction, he's got nonfiction, he does it all. And he has such a fabulous way of how he says things. It just comes alive. And so I'm doing this exercise, and you have to write your own eulogy. So what do you want people to say about you when you're gone? And I write all these things and I read it, and it's beautiful, and I'm crying. So good. And then I look at it and I'm like, I haven't done a dang thing on this list. Nobody can say anything, any of these things about me, because I haven't done anything. And so at that point, I stepped out and I started a blog, and I went to the coffee shop on Sunday while my husband watched the kids. And then that turned into writing things for my church. And then I was introduced to Lethea Owens. And she is the founder of Women of Audacious Faith, business women's community. Phenomenal, changed my life. That's how I met Jackie. That's how I met Jenny. And Lethea introduced me to something called a signature system. I'm like, what is that? And so you may be sitting there. What is a signature system? Isn't that a good question? It is. All right. Your signature system is your framework. It's a system. It's a method or formula to create transformation. So it's literally your process that you take people from pain point, pain island to pleasure island. Like, it's the step-by-step to get them to transform. And that can look any number of ways, but that is what it is. And it's your unique approach to what you do. So it's not everybody else's system. It's your signature system. That's like, like a signature is unique to you. So your signature system is unique to you. Now, as an author, why should you create a signature system? Why should you take your book and create a signature system? Or if you're still in the process of creating a book, or maybe you got a couple different books, or maybe you've just, some of you had said you've done anthologies where you did like a chapter, you could actually create a signature system from that. So, but why do you want to do it? This is what I love about signature systems. It creates your seamless path to transformation for your audience. It's your step-by-step guide. Everything is all right there to take them from their pain point to their transformation. You can also create coaching programs out of it, courses, keynotes, workshops, retreats, master classes. Like, it's endless. So you could do live stuff, you could do recorded things, but this is how you actually create multiple streams of income, because you can use the same system and use different components of it. You could do a workshop, you could do a retreat, you could do articles, because then you've got your endless supply of content, blog posts, podcasts, articles, social media posts. You could go take your some quotes and go make some merch out of it, right? mugs and t-shirts. They've got on-demand print now. You don't even have to have like a warehouse full of stuff anymore. So what we're going to focus on, and how do you turn your book into a signature system? Now, I'm going to roll through this quick, but I have a free video mini course for you that will walk you through these steps. Other than I added a special step for you guys because you are authors. That is for you today. So step one, you have to know your audience. Who are you trying to reach? And I'm sure you had to do this when you created your book. Hopefully you did, because some people I've heard them say, I just wanted to reach everybody. But if you reach everybody, you really reach a nobody. Because in reality, you need to hit a pain point that solves a problem that they have. And so you need to know what that pain point is. And because if your signature system doesn't solve a pain point, there's no use for it. One of the things I love doing for knowing your audience is empathy exercises. So like literally sit there and in your mind, go through the life and day of your target audience. So if you're speaking to women of faith, or Richard, you talked about speaking to men, like think through their day and what are they experiencing? What problems are they running into? Who are the people that they're talking to? Like get into their heart and soul and mind and know them. Because when you can do that, then you can really hone in on that pain point and solve that problem for them. Because listen, people don't pay for information, they pay for transformation. Step two, know your central theme. So your central theme solves the problem for your target audience. So what central theme will solve that problem? Confucius says, the man who chases two rabbits catches neither. When we're scattered all over the place, then we don't hit the pain point. It's, you know, if I'm talking about goals, and then I'm talking about mindset, and then I'm talking about leadership, and then I'm talking about, I need to be focused. So you need a central theme. These are just some ideas. Obviously, like central themes are limitless. Joy-filled life. You can do mindset, effective leader, craft a life plan, design goals, upper limiting beliefs. Pretty much anything can be a central theme. I mean, it could be physical things of, you know, if you wanted to teach fly fishing or things like that, you can have anything be your central theme, but you need one central theme. Step three is you're going to hone your objective. Now, this is the big one. Okay, this step is vital. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create this one sentence. It's this crystal clear sentence that your entire signature system is built off of. And it is a sentence that is not for anybody else. Like, this is not pretty. You're not going to be using this, you know, in your marketing copy. Okay. But what it does is your objective hits your bullseye for your audience. It is the core thesis of your entire content. And so I'm going to walk you through actually how to do it, but I'm going to do it really quick. So, but I'll grab that mini course. It'll walk you through it slower. We can go step by step. First thing you're going to do is you're going to decide if you're going to use a why proposition or a how proposition. Now, what that means is a why is persuading. So is my signature system going to be helping people understand why they need to do this particular thing, giving them all the reasons, like persuading them to do it? Or is it going to show them how? Is it going to give them the step-by-step to actually create that transformation? So that's the difference between a why and a how. Now, I like to personally go with the how when it comes to a signature system. I am going to show you both because why is really handy for, say you're doing a keynote presentation or a workshop. Why is fabulous. You're giving them all the reasons that they need to create a life plan. And then you can offer them, hey, here's how you can create a life plan. And then you've got another workshop or something that walks them through. You know, you're doing a free webinar that leads to, you know, a master class that's paid. So you're telling them why, then you're going to show them how. But for your signature system, I personally like to stick with the how. All right, your why proposition. So starts off with every and then your target audience. I'm going to show you my example that I used for you guys to create the talk. And then you're going to say should, and then your proposition developed from your central theme. So every author, because you all are authors, should turn their book into a signature system. Now, what this does is it makes me think, well, why should every author turn their book into a signature system? That's what it needs to do. I'm going to give you the reasons why. Okay. Now, how proposition is very, very similar. It's every, and then your target audience can, and then your proposition from your central theme. So every author can turn their book into a signature system. How can they do that? Well, you're going to do that in the next thing, and that's interrogate your proposition. Okay. You're going to ask it, why should every author turn their book into a signature system? Why? And then you're going to answer that. Like, you're literally just going to start typing. What are all the reasons why an author should turn their book into a signature system? You know, endless supply of content. You know, you can make multiple streams of income, master classes, live events, you know, all this stuff. Just start listing. Now, at this point, you're not going to do it in any order. Doesn't have to be fancy. You are just literally getting the ideas out of your head onto paper. Okay. Type it, write it, however you want. It's worked the exact same way with how. How can every author turn their book into a signature system? Then you just start listing the reasons. How can they do it? I don't know. They gotta, know their audience. They have to know the central theme. They have to hone their objectives. So like, that's how they're going to do it. Again, order doesn't matter. And you just want a flow to come. If you nailed your proposition, if you are asking the right thing, you will have a flow of answers. If you're typing and going, I don't know, like nothing's coming, go back and try it again. Because then you need to be able to, it just should just flow. All the reasons why, or all the ways that they can do this thing. It should just flow. And then you got it right. From there, you're going to pick a word. It's your keyword. Okay. Steps, actions, habits, techniques, pillars. Now, these are the ways, the pathway to get to where they want to go. What are the steps to get there? What are the actions to get there? What are the 5 habits to do this, or the 4 techniques to do that, or the 6 pillars of this? Okay, so that's your keyword. This keyword is going to stick with you through your entire signature system. Okay, so you better like it. Now, this is not the only keywords. You could use anything. These are just ideas to get you going. Then you're going to add your keyword to that statement. Okay, so we're going to add for the why, because of. So every author should turn their book into a signature system because of these benefits. So benefits here is the key word. So what I'm going to be talking about then is, what are the benefits of a signature system? For the how, works the same way, except we're going to say every author can turn their book into a signature system by following these 7 steps. Steps is the key word. So everything, if you've noticed, I'm doing so far is a step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and I'm walking you through the steps to create a signature system. Step 4, is create your points. Now, your points are actually going to become your modules of your signature system. So like, these are the big main ideas, okay? But they all lead to that path to transformation. I recommend like 3, 5, 7. You don't want the, 21 steps to creating something. That's going to overwhelm somebody. So just pick like the 3 or 5. So then what you're going to do, you need to look at those and make sure like they work. Okay. Because remember, you got your giant list of stuff you interrogated, you got all your ideas, pick 3, 5, 7, You could do 6 if you wanted, it's okay. But you're gonna map them out and make sure each idea flows from one to the next. I personally love sticky notes for this because you can shift things around and just create that path. You're literally like, map it out, create a path. If they do this, then they do this, then they do this, then they do this. Will it get them to this? Maybe this should switch with this, like switch it around. So you're double checking here, okay? Now it's time to make them pretty. As authors, you were probably good at this. Or if you have wordsmith friend, Jackie's my wordsmith friend, by the way. She's really great at this. You can use alliteration. So that either starts with the same letter or has a similar sound. You could do acronyms, you know, where the first letter of each point makes up a word. I have a client, she used Moxie, like rock your Moxie. I absolutely love it, but it was like mindset, opportunity, X factor, intentional, and elevation. Make a pretty, now I'm gonna say this with acronyms. Make sure it is how you want it to be, because Moxie, if you want to add something to it, Moxie's doesn't have quite the, you know, same punch to it. So make sure you know everything's in the right order before you start creating acronyms, okay? Because it's hard to fix later. All right, so that's this. We just actually created all of this just right then. Our theme was creating the signature system. We created our objective statement. Every author can turn their book into their signature system by following the 7 steps. Here are the 7 steps. And then everything, each of those steps all goes back to that objective statement. How do they create their signature system? Now, you might be wondering, so you're like, all right, I got these modules, I got these big points, but how do I make each module from there? Like, what are the points within each module? What you're actually going to do is you're going to go back through step 3 and 4 for each module. So you will create statement module 1. You will interrogate that proposition, write all that stuff down. I would recommend using the same keywords. So if you're using habits, keep with habits, steps. And then you create points for each one and then make them pretty. And then you'll lay out, this was a class I did. I had a central theme, joy-filled life. My keyword was habits. And then each of the weeks, I focused on one habit. Choose your thoughts, watch out for these thoughts, take charge of your emotion, and fuel your thoughts. So everything led back to how do they create a joyful life? For the first session, or you could think of it like module, everything that I taught that day was about choosing their thoughts. Choose true thoughts, loving thoughts, productive thoughts. So everything went together. The next week, same way. It was watching out for thoughts. So watching out for rats, watching out for destructive thoughts. So everything supported that one idea for that week, okay? But it also supported the main idea. So literally everything works together. There's no scattered ideas. There's no rabbit trails. And I'm going to say I'm a good rabbit trailer. But in a signature system, everything works together. So each module makes a point, and then it goes back, and every module makes the point of that system. It solves the pain point. So now as authors, this is your extra step. If you're taking and making a signature system from your book, I had a client who her acronym was BREATHE, and she had her book. What we needed to do was parse it out. So you had to go, you've got all your outline, right? You've got your modules, you've got the points within them. You're going to look at your book and you go, that part fits over here. And this part fits over there. And so we literally went through her book. I went through her book actually, because I did it for her, of, a leaf. And then I put all the points that went within there. I didn't even use all the book. You don't have to. You just go with what is going to flow and make the point and create the transformation. So you do those steps. And then step 6, add experiential resources. Now, I love experiential resources because what they do is bring clarity and understanding through experiences. I love experiences. I love to have fun. That's what this does. I'm not going to go deep into this, but here's some examples. Stories. As authors, you know the power of story. Okay. Use your personal story. Use other people's stories. Use stories. Video illustrations. If you're doing a master class, you could use a video illustration to help show something, that picture being worth 1,000 words. Okay. You don't even have to make it yourself. YouTube's like chock full of stuff. And there's other companies that you can like buy resources from them. Physical illustrations, exercises where you guys either do things together, you could do things separately, but like hands-on doing stuff. Games, breakout groups. I love breakout groups. They are powerful because I am not the only one with information to share. When you get together with other people, like that creates really incredible breakthrough and everybody gets to share their brilliance. All right, from there, you're going to add supporting material. This is honestly kind of the boring stuff, but you need it. Stats, facts, quotes, references. You know, you're going to fill in that information. What supports the content? What supports how to get them to transformation? Now, every resource you use, every stat, fact, supporting material has to support the points. It has to support the pain point. If it's just nice, nix it. This is how you keep it tight. This is how you keep it actually hitting your pain point instead of going, I can't follow along. Like where is she going with this, right? So nix it if it doesn't work. And then you're going to go through and you're going to massage the material. You're going to write out any missing content. Okay. The last thing you need to do is you need to test it and refine your content. So test it out. You want to make sure it works with real people because sometimes we can write this stuff and it doesn't land. So test it with a group. You could do a paid group, like a pilot program, charge them less for feedback. You can do it with volunteers, but like test it out, do some, some group calls, and work them through the material, get their feedback. And the awesome thing with feedback is it also can become testimonials. So once you get your feedback, once you've worked through the content, once you've delivered it, once you've taught it, you're going to be able to see holes. You're going to refine it. You're going to eliminate what doesn't work, reorder it for a better flow, and add anything that needs clarity. That literally is how you create your signature system right there. Whew. So I just want to thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to share this with you. There is such power in a signature system. It is that thing, like it is a legacy that you can create for what you want to do. Now, I talk about speaking. Richard mentioned, he doesn't quite do as much speaking yet, or not anymore. He's focusing more on the writing. Well, you can just do your signature system in writing form too. That is perfectly fine. So I just want to say you've got all kinds of ways you can use this, but the world needs you. The world needs what you have. And I really believe this system is an incredible way to get yourself out there, make an incredible impact, hit the pain points, and create transformation. If you need more help, Miss Kathy is actually going to email you this link, but that free video mini course, heatherlbunch.com/UEC mini course, stands for Unforgettable Experiential Curriculum. And it's fun because I like fun. So the video is actually fun. It is not just a talking head, let me tell you. I also do consulting where I hold hand, and I have a done for you signature system where I got clients that are like, I have other things to do this for me. So I do that too, but I only take a few of those because it's a lot of work. So again, I just want to thank you, Kathy. Thank you again for the opportunity to talk with your beautiful people. And I'm open for questions. If anyone has any questions that I didn't already answer,
Yeah, Heather,
I will, let me stop my,
yeah, stop the
my
screen
thing
share.
here.
And we can get everybody back on screen. Stop the share. There we go.
Ta-da!
Yay. Are there any questions? Just kind of unmute yourself and jump in or raise your hand. Looks like Richard had to go. Heather, that's just amazing
Okay.
information. So what I'm hearing is that we can take this formula and pair it with the content that we have so that it makes sense. And we can use this for workshops, webinars, a great way to expand the
Yes.
knowledge and the brain trust that we have and that we've put onto paper. And what are some, if I'd like to hear from some of the
Yeah.
people in the audience, what you think your next steps might be if you were to take this formula. How do you see yourself using it? Oh, come on. I know you guys are not that shy.
Monique's raising her hand. I see that hand.
Yeah. Jump on
I
in.
see that hand.
I'm about to say, Kathy, I know you and I have talked about this already, but so it's funny that pretty much everything that you said is kind of the way. So I'm writing actually a Christian book on the purpose of the wilderness. So it's talking about like what is the wilderness, what are the different types of wilderness, and then what's the like God trying to do with you while you're in the wilderness. And pretty much everything that you said was like perfect. I'm like, okay, so I think I'm doing this right. I think I'm doing this right. Like I follow this, like you said, kind of testing and refining it. So yeah, so like I'm still in the writing phase, but Miss Kathy, I am coming to you because this is one of the ones that I do want to get published. But I'm just like, this was very helpful. So you may get a phone call or email from me or something like that just about this. So this was great. Thank you.
Well, it's a great way to get our thoughts. Yeah, it's a great way to get our thoughts organized. I heard that early on with some of the introductions, is that sometimes that's the hardest part. Let's see, Pam, hop in. Oops, we lost you, Pam. You still there?
You know, Heather, I think the most important thing I have is
Oh, I hear her.
Yes. The consistent message to always go back and to ask myself, why am I doing this? How am I doing this? What is the pain point? So to have that consistent, I mean, that's really important for any writer, no matter what you're writing. So I really appreciate that reminder.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I can rabbit trail with the best of them, but that statement like just keeps me coming back. All right, what am I trying to focus on? What do I really need to say? Nope, don't need to say that. That's just extra. I have a thing called a parking lot. So if it doesn't fit here, I stick it in the parking lot because it's good information, but it's just not for right here. So
awesome.
Jackie, I think you had.
I did. Well, duh. I mean, I realized what I've created as a signature system, and it was kind of out of order, but I've given my website is joyandflow.com. So I talk about living with joy and flow. And I had done a talk that was literally about 30 minutes on joy and flow. And I used the acronyms of joy and flow, which are 7 steps. So I've taken that speech, I've made it an ebook. I've turned it into an audio book. And then I'm creating a workbook so I can sell that as a product, but then I can lead people through a course or a webinar,
a workshop on it. You
deeper.
could have your spiritual direction retreat that you're gonna,
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I have it.
You have your signature system. Like that joy and flow is your signature system. Yep. And you just gotta, I would just flesh it out so you kind of got it all together. And then you can take the pieces, you do a keynote and maybe you do 1 point from each joy and flow. Or you could go in and you just focus on the joy or the joy part, or you just focus on the J, and you could do a workshop or a talk that's just one module of that and you go deeper into it, so.
I see a weekend retreat coming up.
There's even, you could create a, yeah. I was going to say, you can, I've got a client, she's turning hers into a certification program.
Oh yeah.
So her signature system, now she's going to have people certified to teach her methodology. Mm-hmm. And so then there's even more streams of income, So, but I don't recommend that one until you've tested that baby out quite a bit. Make sure you got that honed in good. So, Alana, did you have your hand raised?
I did have a question. One of your earlier statements, you mentioned creating impact. Is impact based on your subject, your content? Where do you define impact?
Impact for me
is it the receiver?
Well, so impact for me is the transformation. Because I could come and I could lay out all kinds of cool information stuff, right? But when I'm talking to a client or I'm talking to a group of people and what I'm saying to them, the process I'm leading through, that they go home and they do it and their lives are changed, that's impact. And then it's legacy, because in reality, when their lives are changed, because how many people, Lethea changed my life, Jackie's changed my life, Jenny's changed my life, and then I'm going out and helping change other people's lives. And then they're changing other people's lives. Then it's this accumulative effect of your impact. So that's what I'm talking about. So it's really the transformation. It's the pain point you're solving.
Okay.
Their lives are literally changed. That creates impact to me.
Awesome.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Heather. Are there any other questions? Pam, is your hand just a holdover from your first question? Or do you have a new question?
Yeah.
I think we've lost her.
Okay.
Frozen. No worries.
I think Joanne, you had a question. Was that?
Yeah, and whenever you're ready, any of you on the call, to then start selling your products, we actually have 181 plus ways you can make money using Leaf Expert, and many of them are what we've been talking about.
Oh, awesome!
Because once you do what Heather's talking about, you can transform them into so many other products and services that you would be surprised. But doing what Heather's talking about would be a really good foundation to start and get approached with Kathy. So, it's really like you said about the steps. And so I just encourage you all to do it, because I believe you'll never regret it, because it also helps you really look like the expert when you have these different products and services. So, and you got to remember the people's mindset. If they're, believing that you're the one that knows what you're talking about, and by what Heather was talking about, that really helps you stand out. So thank you, Heather.
Thank you. Valuable. That was, I love that, because it's endless what you can do with the message that you have.
Right, because then the other part of it that a lot of people don't realize, and I don't want to go on and on, but you got to expose it consistently and frequently to people, and in different formats, like you were talking about, blogs, articles, videos, podcasts, but now you have the content that you're ready to do that. That's the key.
You're not real, and your message is consistent. Right. And so that's how you're known for this.
Yes.
They know you're known for, because you're consistent with your message.
So thank you.
I'd add
thank you.
I'd add on the impact part that when you do make that impact, then people tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
From a referral standpoint.
Yeah. And referrals are the best way.
Yeah.
Because you've already got built-in trust.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Kathy,
and I was just going to thank Jackie for your story about your creating your talk, which is turning into a book, because some people try and do the book first. In reality, starting simple with that talk becomes the outline for your book. And that was a great story that you shared there on how that can happen. And then all at once you wake up and you go, oh, wait, I not only have a talk, I have a book, I have a workshop, I have all this other stuff. So that's awesome. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to remind you that a follow-up email will go out. We have recorded it. Yay, I remembered to hit record. And we'll include a link, a contact information for Heather, as well as a link to her free mini course. And we will be back. I believe it's November. It's a second Thursday in November. Right now, I'm sorry, I don't have that written down. And more information, I believe it's Mary Nunnally. And she'll be talking about, I believe she's talking about videos, but we'll be watching for that email. It'll be much more succinct than I'm being right now. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Heather. It's been a joy. Lots of information to
Thank
take
you.
home.
Thank you, Heather.
It's
Thanks,
my
guys.
pleasure. Thank you very much.
See you next month. Bye-bye.
So much. Thank you.
Thanks.